Good morning, good morning. It is Rose and Sanjay with Motivation Station. Rose, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, Sanjay.
How are you?
I was not even going to get up here today,
You're not even
but
what?
I was not even going to get up here today.
Really?
Full of
What?
motivated people.
What's been going on? How's your week been?
It's been a crazy week, and then when I said, you know what, maybe I don't want to get on, but people still need me. People need me, and I need to get on. So I'm getting on for all the motivated people that are watching us and listening to us.
Mm. Yeah, no, I definitely feel the times when I guess same, feel overwhelmed, don't want to do too much or like get into what the heck? Get into sometimes you just struggle to get out of bed. Like sometimes it's just like, I just like definitely, especially since I started my new job. Um, there's parts of it that are hard. It's not the job that's hard, but there's parts where adjusting to it is hard. But then I realized that I'm not just doing it for me, you know, and I think that's like the motivating factor. So, there's times where I'm struggling, and it's because of the way some things are handled, and like the job itself I can do. The job I was probably, I can say, safe to say, I can say it's like I was born to do. I've always helped people. I've always been into computers. Like the job itself is not hard. It's the getting there that's hard because of the way they're trying to get there. And a lot of times I've been like questioning it. I've been falling back, like, do I still want to do this? Should I just go back to my old job, or should I try to find another job? Like, not that so much like I want to go through that again too, because that's a headache. But it's like, I think it's because maybe everything I've been through, especially from when we started the podcast, and especially this last summer, like I'm starting to understand what my worth is, and like I'm working with people who are not evaluating my worth, and there's a side of it that people are like, you're doing a great job, like if you weren't here we'd be struggling, kind of deal, right? And then there's other people who are just like, you're doing a good job, but you can do more. And they don't understand how much more is. And then when I start breaking down what I already do, they're like, well, this shouldn't be that hard for you. And I'm like, all right. So, long story short, I'm basically doing like the job of what's going to be like three people to two, essentially, for this month. And this week was harder because one of my colleagues was out. One of the people that I'm training is out. So everything was on me this week. So I overfilled my plate and I tried to handle it the best I can. Now, everyone is proud of the work that I do, which is nice. But the problem is, I'm not proud of it because I feel like I'm falling behind because of everything else I'm trying to do. And then I'm not, like, when they comes back to me and they're like, hey, why isn't this done? I'm like, well, this is the reason why it's not done, because I'm doing all this. And they go, well, you should be able to do all this. And I'm like, it's a job that I just started like a month ago. How do you go from 0 to 100% in a month? Like, you have to give me a little bit of time to adjust and like do this thing. But I had two options, right? So I was just like, I could be bitter about it. I could leave. I could say, F you, here's my 2 weeks, and be out. But like, I mean, I don't know. I think I've always been this person. There's close team members that I work with, and I don't want to betray them. And I think that's the biggest reason why I'm still here. If it wasn't for these two team members that I started working with, I would have probably left. I would be like, this is not even worth the headache. But the fact that they keep me grounded, they keep me laughing. We always share jokes or conversations or even like memes or something. Um, I'm happy that my other counterpart at this job is a hardworking person, and I think without them, I really wouldn't be here. Like, I would just be like, this isn't worth it. But the longer I stay, it's getting a little bit better. But it's funny because life tests you in different ways, and like tests your loyalty. And I haven't decided yet, but like it's interesting because one of my old jobs I used to work at, I didn't leave. They had changed the way they do their IT, so I was kind of like not forced to leave, but like they weren't gonna keep me. And a few I think I left them at the end of 2023. 2023 or 2024. Yeah, it was 2023. At the end of 2023 I left them. And they called me back for oh, well, they put a posting up for another IT job at the same place. And like three people from that old company texted me and they're like, "Hey, you really should apply again." And I'm like, I did like it there. I had no beef with anybody. It was just the upper management changed their stuff, so they're like, I was like, I'm not gonna stay if you're gonna kick us out anyway. But now they're trying to bring everything back in house, and I want to say fair enough. I think they believe I did a good job, so I reapplied, and I mean I just reapplied like Thursday. I'm gonna see how it plays out, but honestly, like I know if I go back to that one, like not that I want to leave the job I'm at now, but at least I know my efforts would be better appreciated at at my old place because it was. They didn't let me go because I didn't do a good job. They let us all go because it was just like a batch of people who got let go. And the people who are there for long term, obviously they got burnt a little bit more. So because the opportunity came back, I'm not sure if they're interested in going back. But I was only there for less than 2 years, so it's like, I'm not really bothered by it. But like at the end of the day, like I just want to be happy with my work. At the end of the day, I just want to be happy with what I do. Um, and like yourself, like sometimes it's a struggle and you don't want to, right? And it's not so much because like you don't think you're good enough, or you may feel like today's gonna be a different day because it's like it doesn't feel like a good day so far or something like that, right? But then you kind of like force yourself up and you go, right? It's like going to the gym. It's like the idea of going to the gym, driving there, getting ready and driving there. People don't do that. Like people like hate that part. But once you're at the gym, like you go in, you just go like hammer. You just go like super hard working out because you're already there and you're comfortable. And it's like for me, the rest, it's like life for me for that sense, right? Like for me, now I'm going back to the office 5 days a week, which I'm like, it's all right, but I miss not being, doing remote work and stuff. But like I have reasons to drive, like especially like my car. So like we'll talk about this later today. I called today's episode hobbies, which we'll obviously talk about each other's, but just to play catch up. Um, but then like there's certain things that I do. There's certain things that like keep me motivated, and I'm happy that you decided, hey, I'm gonna get up and seize the day, right? Um, but like I get up,
Cause yeah,
I get up, I look at my kid, and I know my kid is doing well, and she's knocked out. She's like her arms in the air and everything, and I'm like, this is part of the reason that like I get up to go do what I do. And then like I'll walk outside. I walk to my car. I start my car. I love driving my car. I think it's tiring, right? Because with traffic and driving a stick car, like my left leg is like just shot from disengaging and engaging the clutch over and over again, right? But it's fun to drive. And I remember I think I don't yeah, I mentioned like the one that the day we went out for lunch, and the one person I took out, they kept talking about their luxury car, and they're like, I know I have a luxury car, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Like they're just like, why do you drive this every day? Like this car just seems like a lot of work. And I didn't know how to explain to her that. I'm like, this is the reason why I'll drive to work, because it's fun to drive to work for me if I drive this car, like there's times where like I struggled like in the past going to work, but I'd go outside, I would see my car, I'm like, this is gonna be fun to drive. One thing I did start trying to do, and I haven't fully succeeded with it, is that uh show more appreciation for the days. So I was watching like a like a video on Instagram, I think it was. I don't even remember, but the guy was like, "Do yourself a favor every single day at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, right?" He says, "Do yourself a favor. When you get up, the first thing you should say to yourself is, today's gonna be a glorious day, right? You get up, you start up with that motivation, you say that quote to just kind of prep yourself to say that. No, I'm sorry, it's something glorious is gonna happen today, right? So then it makes you kind of like focus. It's kind of like, hey, like today's gonna be a good day, kind of a deal, right? But you wake up, the first words you say to yourself is something glorious is gonna happen today, right? And then at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, you go, today was a glorious day, right? And like the more I started doing that, the more I started like thinking that way, I started feeling positive about not just myself but the day itself, right? And that glorious day could be anything. Anything can happen, right? So one day, this week at work, it was Friday, and I forgot that it was Friday. And I went to work, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm tired." Because the day before, I stayed up on the phone with a friend who had a bad day, so I went to bed at like 1, and I had to get up at like 6. So, I didn't get too much sleep, but I got to work, and I'm like, I woke up in the morning. I was like, something glorious is gonna happen today, and I drove to work. There was traffic, which wasn't normal, so I can't say that was glorious. But I got to the office. I sit down. My coworker's there. He says, "Good morning." I'm like, "Hey man, good morning." Sit down. I start prepping for work, and he's like, "Oh, we'll be right back, real quick." He comes back. I forgot that he said he was gonna buy me coffee. So he comes back and buys. He brings like I guess he put it in the fridge. He bought me like a Starbucks pumpkin coffee. So he brings it back. He gives it to me. He's like, "Here, yeah, I got your coffee." I was like, "Oh shit! Like, thank you." Like, like it threw me off because I was just like, I didn't expect it, and it was like the pumpkin coffee, and I love pumpkin stuff, so it was like it hit the spot, and I just forgot that that was gonna happen. But like it was like the little thing that picked up that day, and the rest of the day was fantastic. I was in a better mood. The coffee didn't wake me up, but I was in a better mood. I was happier. I joked around. It was Friday. I was going into the weekend strong, and like I just felt better. But I know that there's days like that we struggle with, and I think it is important that as much as we get up and we want to do it for other people, we definitely have to take it back, and want to do it for us, you know. But definitely, I mean, I agree with you that sometimes the motivating factor is because we do it for other people, and I think stuff like that I try to teach, not teach. I try to like tell people that's how I do it, and they're like, that's a bad thing because you could burn yourself out. But I don't see myself burning myself out for doing stuff for other people that I want to do. If I need to do, it's kind of different, but I don't think I ever really do stuff I need to do. I always do things I want to do, whether it's work, whether it's like, even like doing this podcast, whether it's like working on my car, whether it's like playing video games. It's like I don't need to do any of this. I don't. I really don't. I do it because I want to do it. I'll let you say your thing, but I just want to say hello and good morning to, oh, good evening. I'm sorry to Morgan over there in Paris. So I hope Morgan's been my rock. She talks to me every single day.
Salute, Morgan, salute.
But she
So
keeps trying.
yeah,
Uh,
let me summarize. So for me, it's not about that I couldn't get up this morning. For me, it was everything that did build to this point. Number one is I lost a dog last week, right?
yeah.
And this week I have a burial on Tuesday for my cousin. My cousin, they found his DNA. He's officially dead,
Mm,
died, deaf, whatever that is.
mm-hmm.
Um, of course, I lost my mom, so everything's happening in month and a half, and I officially quit RK yesterday. So
Wait. You officially quit. What?
RK,
RK?
yeah, Ramsey's Kitchen is RK.
Oh, I didn't know that was the name of the place. Why did you put what happened? If you don't mind me asking.
So I have been picked on and bullied since day one from
Okay.
this one person, from the supervisor that by any other chance, I don't know how, from the supervisor she became a general manager,
Mm-hmm.
and she have been unprofessional, rude, picking, bullying on a lot of people. I don't know how she's still working there. And I have been disrespected so much that yesterday was just the last moment. I was like, I do not want to work for this person.
Yeah.
It's just, and when I found out she's 33 and she plays favoritism, she's bullying people, very rude. She doesn't know how to speak to people. She was doing, is still doing things in her office where there's no cameras. So many things that I found out she was doing, I was like, wow.
Mm.
Like showing your workers how to do sexual things in your office. I don't think it's professional. So,
Yeah. Well, that's a gray area, so we won't get too deep into that. But that is terrible.
yes.
Yeah, I get that.
And for her to tell me that I am slow, I'm doing mistakes constantly. She was bringing up things that I was doing in the beginning. I never worked in a casino. I never served. I'm a bartender. And of course, like you said, you only there for a month. You want me to go from the 100, from 0 to 100. And of course, in the beginning, I didn't know the PS system. Things were happening. She brought up everything that I have done like from the beginning,
Mm,
which was like 5 things max.
mm,
And the things she was saying and the things that she wanted me to do, I was like, wow. And she was forcing me. First of all, she was forcing me to transfer, or she was trying to squeeze me out for so long. I said, you know what? I want to be at peace. Yes, my dream was to meet the Gordon Ramsay, and it's still a dream.
yeah, there's still
It
time.
might
Yeah,
still happen,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'm not longer want to work there. And officially, yesterday, I said, give me a minute. She's like, you gotta give me an answer now. I said, no, I need a minute. She's like, okay. So, and then I got out, I finished my shift, and I said, I came back and I said, thank you, but I'm officially quitting. And she didn't even say a word. She said, okay, that's it. So, for all the things that happening, I know my mom was against casinos. She's like, you can't work in a casino, it's an evil place. I
Mm,
said, Mom, it's okay. And I knew it was an evil place. It's just dark, like a lot of people lose a lot of money, addiction, a lot of people like it's addiction, gambling and drinking at the same time, doing drugs. It's all addiction. And I knew that energy is there. And I'm thinking and looking at things differently now just because we're in a different level.
mm,
And before then, obviously, I was feeling myself spiritually. I'm fine. Like luckily, I have my cleaning business started. I still have my network marketing. I still have things that I can do. I can always find a part-time job. I'm still a health coach. You know, I just actually went to Texas for 3 days. I went to San Antonio. It
nice.
was one of the best trips ever. I started just taking 3-day trips to places that I never been.
Mm,
Okay,
mm-hmm,
it
mm-hmm,
was amazing. So amongst of everything that's happening, I still found myself to do things that okay, people always gonna do that. The more successful you're gonna get, the more people gonna hate on you
mm-hmm,
because they hate more when you're doing less. When you're doing more with less, people always gonna hate.
mm-hmm.
People always. There's people are great, but always is gonna be people like that. And I couldn't just take the unprofessionalism so much. And I just feel sorry for Gordon because that's his brand.
Mm,
And for his brand to go low like that, uh, you know. But I'm happy. I'm happy that happened. I'm happy that I don't have to deal with these people that actually constantly backstabbing you. It's just why not be better? Why not be nice? Why you have to be ugly?
yeah.
And I even told myself like everybody's like go to HR. Everybody's tired of her, and everybody's ready to go to HR. So it's like if I go to HR, first of all, when I already quit, go to HR is gonna look like I'm just trying whatever, right?
Yeah.
So even if I go, I'm like, what is that good is gonna do for me, like for my soul? Because that lady has 2 kids. Maybe I don't care about that lady, but I care about her kids. Because if anything happens, she got fired or anything, she's gonna be upset, and her kids is gonna be upset, right? Like for me personally, it's not about her. It's like I care about her kids.
Right.
So even if I go and she gets fired, which she should be, because there's so many things that she does unprofessionally. Like, she should not be managing at all,
Mhm.
in nowhere. She needs to go and learn how to manage herself first. But it's not my business. It's not for me to put 2 cents and give my opinion of who she is and how she does it.
Mhm.
It's on her. I just know what I did and what I do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from.
You just have to live through this anger moment. It's not even an anger. It's just like when you're so close, like I just wanted to meet Ramsey and go. Like I didn't really, I did everything,
Yeah.
but he's still
Listen,
coming, and
I
I
mean,
might still see him.
the biggest thing is, like it's about being at peace with yourself. So if it brought you peace to leave, it makes more sense to do that. Um I understand where you're coming from too. So like I mean, I think like going to HR and stuff like so if this lady is like I don't know this lady, so I'm not gonna make a judgment call and I'm not gonna put her
Yeah,
on blast either. But if there are a lot of people who are in the same place as you are in a sense, like they're like, yeah, this lady's tough, this lady has been doing too much to me, or whatever. There's a lot of people who are afraid to do anything about it, right? And not to say that you could have been a voice of reason and went to HR. And the thing is, it's very gracious of you to say I don't want to put her in a tough spot, even though she put me on a tough spot, right? But it's like you could have also. I'm not saying think about this now, right? But there's another side of perspective where the people that are working there want to be there too, but it's very tough for them because of her, right? So as much as like I said, I'm not putting anything on you, but as much as like you didn't go to HR, right? And you maybe saved this lady and her two kids, the other side of people who are afraid to go to HR, their lives are affected as well. So now they're working with someone that they might not like, and they're in that same spot that you think that she'll be in if she gets let go, right? Not that I think that people deserve bad things to happen to them, but I'll agree with you that maybe it wasn't your place to fight for that, right? Um, and I
I just
personally
want
think
justice. Yeah, justice. That's all I
justice
care about.
I think justice would have been going to HR, right? Before quitting, obviously, not now, right? But the thing is, like, people are just, and I don't blame them. Sometimes they're put in a position where they just like, if I go to HR for my situation, they're gonna be like, you're too new. Like, we're not gonna care what you think, right? But the thing is, if other people pipe up with me, then it'd be like, okay, maybe there is a problem with the person, right? And I'm not saying you could have rallied the people together at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant and say, let's go take this person out, right? But the thing is, like, just a lot of people don't have a leader to do that. A lot of people are just like, we'll support you, but we're not going to be the ones that put our foot down first. Like here where I'm at now, same story. Like I could quit. I could. Like I don't need the job. I could quit, right? But the thing is, I'm thinking the same way you're thinking that I don't want to affect other people. But the other people would be directly affected if I quit. Right? So if I leave, the two people who are working remotely on this project, they'll be affected because it's like, how are they gonna do this job, right? And then the other thing is if I leave, the people I'm replacing, like the team that I'm with, they'll need to find a new person to work in that position, right? And if I start thinking in that way, where it's like, hey, like this job, here's the biggest thing, right? It's like if I quit, I know the business is not gonna stop. They're not gonna be like, oh, we're gonna crash out, and this job is just gonna go bankrupt and all that. I know that's not gonna happen, and I think that's my biggest driving purpose, right? So I mean, for you, like you said, your motivation, your big move here, more than anything, was of course make a name for yourself, being a server or bartender, right? But it was more like you wanted to meet Gordon Ramsay, which is fine. It's a dream, That's like me working for Disney, meaning no, that's a horrible version, but you know what I mean, right? So like like your goal was to want to meet Gordon, but like at what level of extent would you go to do that? And if that extent is you have to work with just a very in your sense, a very crappy manager who doesn't know how to manage, like, yeah, I think I would leave too. I don't think it's worth that push. The reason I'm still at this job is because I actually like the job. I like the people I work with. I'm starting to build a name at the place that I work. Management likes, like, their end of management likes me. The few people that I don't fully get along with, I know I'm only gonna be with them temporarily, right? And then after a point, I'm just kind of be let go and on my own, working with the client. And the client is absolutely fantastic. And I always wanted to work for a Japanese company, right? So now it's like it works out for me because I can learn the language. I can work with closely the people like the way I want. I don't know how things are gonna work out, but there's some things that did level me out. Like I said, my team and remote team that's been helping me have been keeping me grounded, keeping me laughing, and they say the same. They're like, "We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you." And when I told them, I was like, "Hey, like I'm thinking about this," and like I said just like that. I said I'm thinking about leaving, but I don't want to mess it up for you guys. And you know what they said to me? They said to me, do whatever you need to do. This is your life. You know? They're like, just because like this doesn't fit your little thing, like if it doesn't fit into your life, it doesn't fit into your life. Like and then my favorite part is I ended up becoming really good friends with the person, and they're based in Mexico. So then I added them on WhatsApp, and now we talk all the time, like we're friends. And they were telling me like they actually they had to leave the job because of a personal situation. I won't get too deep to it, but it has to do with family, and they had to leave the project because of that, right? And she almost started crying because she said that I won't be able to be part of this project, but she's like, more so I won't be able to work with you. And I was like, you don't gotta cry about that. I was like, I'll fly out to Mexico eventually. We'll hang out. I was like, there's gonna be other jobs that you can get, so don't worry about money, right? And I was like, as far as this project goes, and you have to leave, either this project makes it or it doesn't. It doesn't matter to us. Like we do, like we're people that will work hard. We don't work hard because of the company we work for. We work hard because of who we are. And then same story for you. You don't work hard because you're working at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. No, you work hard because you're Rose and you're a hardworking person. Gordon Ramsay's restaurant was just a platform for you to stand on to show your skills, right? Just like me working at this job, it's a platform for me to show my skills. So if they ever hit to a point and they're just like, "Oh wow," I'm not gonna say the name of my company, but it's like, "Oh wow, this company hires top-notch people," I'm gonna be like, "Maybe, but I just work hard," you know. Like the opportunity was given for me from this company, but it's not because of this company that I work hard. I just work hard. It's just me. And I think my other side, like the client I'm working for, they understand that. Like they see me struggle time to time, and they're like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, I'm fighting the day, right?" And every time they're like, "What, like things like what have you been struggling with? What's going on?" I tell them it has everything to do with something that's not IT, and they're just like, "Okay, I get that." So I don't even have to lay it out. They understand where I'm coming from. But I still do have to work hard to like help this thing work out. And I was like, look, even if I decide to leave this job, I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be petty about it. I'm not gonna just leave, right? Because for me, they're still in the process of getting the contract for the client. So if I do give it 2 weeks, I work my ass off in those 2 weeks. I'll do the best I can to make sure I gave you everything I gave you for you to succeed before I leave. Of course, there's gonna be bitter things, all right? Of course, there's gonna be moments where, um, like my direct management might just be like whatever, you're gonna quit, you don't care anymore. But they don't know me long enough, and they're just judging me on whatever they've seen in their lives or whatever. It's not my judgment call to make. It's not my place to say you're wrong. That's not how I am, right? But if you like, I'm at the point that if you feel a certain way about me and you don't know me long enough and you just make this judgment call that you think you know me, fine, make it. I don't care. I'm not gonna be bothered by it. You want to go to anybody else and talk crap about me, go right ahead. The door is open. I literally don't care. Until it starts hitting me personally is when I'll start defending myself, right? So like say my management comes back and they're like, Sanjay, you're very unprofessional. Sanjay, I don't think you're fit for this position. Fine, no problem. Do you have someone else in mind to take the spot? Because I'm happy to leave. I'm happy to walk away, right? Because people do feel like like this manager. She definitely felt power over you, right? And that's why when you said I'm gonna quit, in her head, right? And you got to take this with the biggest grain of salt. In her head, she said, I won because now you're out, right? Now, I don't think you should go back and do better than her and come back and be like, I'm a better person than you. You just have to accept the fact that this woman is the way she is, and you just move on. Like, the biggest thing for you now is like, you walking out this door
Yeah.
yesterday, right? There's nothing more to talk about for this situation anymore. I mean, of course, you know, we were going to go ahead and bring it up and be like, well, it was this and was that's fine, right? But
It's just,
you have to work
yeah.
your way through it, you know, because now
Yeah.
the biggest thing is now it's over, it's done, and now it's like you have to decide what you want to do with your time. And I'm
I
not
just
worried.
don't understand. Like, I don't understand how people can still bully people,
It's
pick
so,
on people,
but
and pick a favoritism. Like, what?
the thing
And then
is
I realized, I'm like, she's only 33.
that doesn't matter, right? Because like my thing
And the
is,
morals,
no,
not
it's
there.
the thing is, if you sit there and you try to investigate that in your head of why, how, or why someone is like that, right? You're just gonna burn yourself out thinking that way, right? Right. So what I mean by that is, like, I think I talked about it in a previous podcast where two of my friends don't get along. Like, I have a group of like five close friends that I'm tight with, and we almost talk every day. Two of them don't get along, right? And when I told one that they don't get along with the other, he got upset and he's like, why, like, why is he like this? And I'm like, honestly, it's not in your position to wonder why. It's not in your position to say, I'm a great person, why don't you like me? People are just the way they are, right? But here's the thing, right? So I agree with you, I don't get how people can bully other people at all, right? But until, for me, it's like, if it's like directly affected, then I would stand up for that person that's being bullied, or I would stand up for, you know, something that's happening, right? um like, I think me and you are the type of people, if you do it to us, like, I'm like, I don't know, I'm not gonna be phased by it, because I don't even know you, you know, like, I don't know you long enough. Like, if it was like one of my long-term friends and they start bullying me, I would stand my ground and be like, dude, we've been friends for this long, what is going on, right? But you just started working for this job, you know, less than a year, I want to say, and like, this person is being like a bully. And listen, some people make it in life like that. Just like at the job I'm at right now, I don't think there's a reason I should be picked on, like the way I'm getting picked on at this job, right? But I'm like, you know what? I don't know your story. I don't know what you've done. I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. I really don't care. But like, if you start coming at me the way, like, and I'm determining this from the way you're telling your story. The way she came at you, I agree. You made the right move and you left, right?
The
But
funny
like,
part, she's from Edison, New Jersey.
listen, that doesn't make it much better. People in Edison suck, so it doesn't even matter to me. Um, but like,
I just like, I'm
honestly,
not questioning why she's like that. I just want to say, like, don't be like that.
yeah.
Don't be ugly.
The
Don't be ugly. God doesn't like ugly. Do
then
good,
the
and
the
you will
the
be good.
the best you could have done is walk away from her and just give that two cents of advice, like, look, I may be out, but you got to understand that you can't treat people like this, right? But you can say all these words, right? You can say all of this and they won't even care. You know, it's a
They
possibility that
don't.
they won't even
She
care.
didn't.
But the thing is, that's why we go back to our original journey. It's about peace within ourselves. You know, like, we're not, like, one thing I want to say, and I try to tell my one friend, but I don't think she gets it. Right, when bad things happen to you from bad people, right? I don't think it's wise to say, I hope karma gets you, because I feel like
No,
that's,
you have to pray for their healing.
yes, exactly. You have to pray
Pray
that
for their change.
they see the errors in their ways, and they'll learn, right? And it may be beyond a point where they can come back to you and say, Rose, you were right, but that's fine. They're not coming back to heal for you. They're coming back to heal for themselves. And that's
Yeah,
the best you can do, right? But until then, I mean, like I said, like, if you look at it a little bit further back and take a step back, I think you made the right move. I mean, if it was causing you distress, if it was messing up your mental, and listen, you've already been through so much. Why do you need more shit on top of that, right?
exactly. Like, I'm working, she's constantly like, "Oh, we need to talk. Come to the office." Every single shift. I'm like, "You're not even letting me work." I started doing complimentary cucumber and mint waters because we constantly throw out the garnish every day. We have to. So now I started utilizing the garnish instead of wasting it, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
She comes at me and she said, "You cannot do cucumber waters anymore. It's a high cost."
Yeah.
Where? So and stuff like that, like, it's like so many things. Like, And it was like I have more experience than you were. You were didn't even finish high school yet when I have so much experience. But it's not what I have. It's about what kind of person that is, and I know who I am. I'm like, I don't wanna be in her level, and that's why I said I'm officially quitting. She was going to give me a 90-day program of retraining. It's like you have to show everything that you put it in the computer, that you fire the item. It's like it was so much. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I think the biggest thing is I don't think this was your stopping point anyway. Like I was happy that you had the opportunity to work here, but I don't think this is your place to be. I really don't.
That's
And
why the God is pulling me away from this place.
yeah, exactly. And that's why I think I'm kind of in the same boat. So
I
it
trust the journey and I have faith
that's it. That's all it is. And
and I'm
like
at peace.
I was in
Just a
the
little anger.
I was in the same space, or I'm in that same space, right? So it's kind of like when I go to work and I'm going to work, no problems. I'm happy to drive there. I'm happy to get started on my work, help the users. I don't have beef with anybody. I just get the work done, right? But then, like, we have meetings either every day or every other day, and I get anxious from those meetings because I'm tired of those meetings. They're taking too much time of my day, and I can't get things done because, like, I mean, obviously they want their end of it done, and I'm like, I'm doing my best to serve them and then serve the job that I'm doing. And I'm like, you guys have to like keep it in the middle, right? So I remember I think I put her on the spot for 1 second, but like I had a meeting on Friday, Thursday or Friday, right? It was a 2:30 meeting and it ended at 4:30, right? So it was a 2 hour meeting that I don't think we needed, right? And at the very beginning of the meeting, like she was like, "Oh, I need this information from you, Sanjay. Like I need it, like right now if you can get it, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, give me a minute, I'll get it." She's like, "No, don't say give me a minute, give it to me now." And I was like, first of all, I said give me a minute because I have to log back into the computer. I'm gonna give you your information, but there's no reason to raise your tone. She immediately was like, "No, no, no, that's fine. Take your time." And I was like, you don't like. There's people who think that like. Don't get me wrong. There's people in life, unfortunately, that like when they get bullied, like they can't stand up for themselves. For me, it did take 10, 15 years to get to this point where I'm like, whoa, you don't talk to me like that. Like I'm doing you a service here, and I'm doing my best, right? If I was sitting here doing nothing, playing with my phone, just bullshitting and getting by at this job, then then yeah, then I shouldn't be talking this shit. I really shouldn't. But if every day I'm like doing as much as I can for you, and you have the audacity to be like, give this to me right now, no excuses, like you need to chill. Like I'm doing a lot, and like there's times where it's like, do I talk back or do I not? Right. So there was another point where my boss is like, listen, Sanjay, I need you to start taking 100% of the work that the company does now, right, for IT. And I'm like, this is my second week here. How do you want me to take 100%? I'm still adjusting to all of this, right? But I had every opportunity to argue back, and I was like, it's not worth it. It's not even worth it. I was like, if you want this, that's fine. Until they come back to me and say I don't do enough, right? Then I'll be like, all right, if you truly feel I don't do enough, then you can find my replacement. That's fine. Because like the rest of my team, the meeting would end and they would message me and they'd be like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, honestly, I don't care. Like I was like, they can sit here and talk shit about me all day. Everybody else likes me. That's what I care about. Like if multiple people are telling me that I'm wrong, then I'll have to understand that okay, I'm wrong. If one person out of like the 25 people I deal with on a daily basis tells me I'm wrong, I don't think I'm wrong. Like your manager telling you that you're wrong, I don't think they're justified in saying that you're wrong, especially if like if you're. I mean, I don't know your situation, and I'm not gonna ask you to answer it. But if, the people you work with directly, the people who are your partners, unless they're also saying that you're wrong, then maybe it's something on your end, Rose, right? But if it's like if it's literally just this one manager saying you're wrong, and nobody else is saying that, then the
Yeah,
problem
she
isn't
couldn't
you.
even find the words to tell me. Like she was just bringing up like old stuff.
So the biggest thing is like some people. I mean, I'll be honest. I as much as like you're on a better journey there than I am in the sense of you wish them healing. You wish them to be healed, right? I wish them well. Like I don't care if they get healed or not. I'm like, you go do your own thing, and I hope you do your thing, and that's it, right? Just stay away from me. I'm good with this, right? And I was like, I don't like, if it's like having a friend who constantly brags. Why would you want a friend who constantly brags? Like, I have a big house, I have a big car. Like, why would you want that? Like, if they brag in the sense of like, hey, you can work hard, you can get here too, great. But if they brag because they want to be better than other people, what the hell's the point of having that kind of person in your life? You know what I mean? And people like that exist. Like this lady who's like, I have a luxury car. That's fantastic. You right now you're sitting in my car and I'm taking you to lunch. Deal with it. Like you forgot your keys. Deal with it. Like this is my version of luxury. This is my happy moment. And it's funny because I'm starting to see that I'm not the only one struggling with these people because on one of my I had people come from Japan. Two teammates come from Japan and they were the sweetest people, man. Let me tell you. They bought me a gift, food. They gave me food as a gift and they're like, "Oh, welcome to the team." And it was like it was bread.
Oh,
It was bread with like not sugar, but it was like sweet bread, right? But it was like loaf of bread and it was sweet. And it was good, and I felt obliged to be nice in return. So before they left, I I went to Boscov's and bought like American mugs, like the big American flag mugs, and I bought them chocolate and I put them into like a nice little gift bag and I gave it to them, and they're like, "Oh my god, thank you so much!" And I was like, "Yeah, no biggie." I'm like, "You guys gave me a thing," but during the interview, their interview, they're like, "How do you feel about the project?" I was like, "Honestly, man," I was like, "The work is easy. The work is fine. I could do this all day." It's the other part that I'm having problems with, right? And the second I started saying these names, they started stressing because I think they were in the same boat too. They're like, we feel like we're doing a good job, but why are we getting hassled by this person? And I was like, I don't know, you know. But I was like, I'm telling you, right now I'm not to that point that I'm burnt out and I want to walk away. But I'm telling you right now, it's a possibility that it can happen. And they got kind of scared because they're like, they know I'm doing a good job, and they're like, we don't want you to leave. And I was like, yeah, yeah. I mean, if I leave, no, it's not because of you guys. No, it's not because of the job, right? And like the rest of my team will know why I left, which is fine. And this woman, if she's like, oh, he left because he couldn't do this job, it's too much for him. Whatever, man, that's your reason. I don't give a shit. I don't think that's true. And if you think that's true, that's fine. When I walk away, it's not gonna make my day worse, you know? Now you're in a position where you have to find someone to work at this job and get the contract you want. For me, it's just, well, on to the next IT job, because I get offers all the time. The offer is not the part. I'm looking for a home. I'm looking for a place where I can grow. And I don't know if this place is the place, but there's a lot of motivating factors. So I'm doing my best for it. So as much as I'm having a bad time at this job with this one little small section, when I look, like I'm starting to understand why they say the grass is greener on the other side. It's not about looking at the other side and seeing that the grass is greener, right? It's not about like, hey, my neighbor has better grass or anything like that. It's about like you can get there. Like, yeah, like your grass might not
you
be
water
as
your own grass.
exactly. Well,
Hmm.
it's like the motivation, right? So like your grass might be patchy, might be dead, and on the other side, it's all green. And you don't look at that and say, "Man, I wish my grass was like that." You just say, "What can I do to get my grass like that?" Right? So like with this job, as much as I'm struggling at this beginning part, on the other end of it, yo, let me tell you something. This job, first of all, closet full of snacks, and I when I say snacks, I mean like healthy snacks. They have like
Yeah, you
pumpkin
told me.
seed, yeah,
Hmm.
stuff like that, right? They
I
have a
love
water
that for you.
they have a
Hmm.
water dispenser, so I don't get drinking the water all the time. I haven't been tempted by really drinking soda, right? Uh, every Wednesday I have bagels, so or like fruits. So like I'll take like half a bagel or something like that. They have meetings all the time, and like when it comes to meetings, we're friends with almost all the admins for all the different groups. So that when the meeting is done, they bring the food by us and they say, "Do you want anything? There's a lot of leftovers. Take it home." Right? There's a lot of there's a lot of people who like I'm starting to get to know people. They have candy and all that stuff on their desk, and they learned that I have a daughter, so they're like, hey, take some candy, bring it home to your daughter. And I'm like, I'm good. I try to avoid sweets because obviously diabetic journey. I'm trying to fight that, but they're like here, and like this lady opened her drawer and gave me like 3 bags of M&Ms, and I'm like, yo, my kid can't eat all this. Like, don't give me all this. She's like, nah, space. But they have kids too, right? So they're like, just space it out. There's so much potential at this job that I want to get into. That this little thing happening between me and my upper management, I'll say, is nothing. I can get over it, you know? So I'm doing my best to fight through it, but like I said, I understand where you're coming from.
It's very hard to, it's not even hard, but it's like it's very rare that you have a great leader.
Yes,
Like the
yes,
leader that actually leads you,
yeah,
not
yeah,
judging you, not getting, I'm a parent and let me be a parent to my team. No, it's being a leader. And to be a leader, you at least need knowledge and skills and a lot of hours of practicing how to be a leader. And me, as being in that area, more knowledge and skilled, I actually gave this lady a book that I was reading by John Maxwell. Everyone communicates if you connect. So she can learn how to be an effective leader
hmm,
and connect. I gave her that book. And I thought I would see some difference.
yeah,
You know, that's what I did when I saw how bad and unprofessional she was. I said, let me help this lady.
yeah,
Then when I find out she's only 32, which is age is nothing, but still,
mm,
it's that area with the old school in her is not there. Like there's nothing about old school.
yeah,
That morals, that respecting elders, it's like respecting like people's choices, like it's
yeah,
just, as a leader you see the whole picture.
hmm,
You
yeah,
accept the picture. You don't pick and choose and try to demonize every person in your team. You
yeah,
actually build a vision and you put the team towards that vision and say, hey, this is what we're going to do.
yeah, yeah.
This
No,
is,
there's
even the
a
light changed.
there's a difference, right? It's like when you work at a job, when you work at a job, you either work for a leader or you work for a manager. And she's just a manager. Just I'm at the same space. I either work for a leader or work for a manager. And
Yes,
the people I'm working with
but
right now are just managers. They just want to manage people and stuff like that and get things done, and they don't even do a good job there. A leader gives you resources for you to succeed. Like I'll give a shout out to Dove. I haven't talked and hung out with Dove in a while, right? But Dove was never a person that like I worked with him at several jobs now, right? I worked with him at two different jobs, and he never was at a point that like I needed a scolding, or there were times where I needed to be lectured, but it was never to a point where that was like, you need to do better. Like I hired you, you need to make me look good. Never like that. Never. It was he was like, what do you need that I can help you be better? Like what can I do for you? you know and whether it was hanging out in person, whether it was going out, or whether it was like actually at the job, and he's like, hey, let's take
yes,
a break, let's go take a walk, let's go get a breather. Like he would take me on his smoke breaks, and I don't even smoke, but he's like, just come out so then we can step away from work, step away from the computers, take a little bit of a break. And I think that's why I think people like Dove, and I have like other people who are like him, that motivated me to get into management, because I was like, that's the type of person I want to be. Is I want to be uh like a manager to lead. Like I want to be a leader in that sense. So me, and like the thing is, I know like the position that this person is, they're in that position because they got the certification that I want to get. So now for me, I'm looking at it now that I'm more driven to get it, so I can be a better leader than she is, right? But the thing is, I'm not going to go back and say, look, I'm a better leader than you. It just motivates me to be better than that. And I think that's a strong motivation to be like, you know what? This is what I see what a project management's like. I can do better than this. So I'm gonna go try my best and be better than this. But there, like I said, there's people who are managers and there's people who are leaders, right? And also, like, even the one thing I was gonna say to, like, you gave her the book and you're like, hey, I hope this helps you. I'm sure you've heard that saying, but it's like, when someone slaps you, right? You turn the other cheek,
give him another cheek. Yes,
right?
that's what my
And this
mom
is
always told me.
all you're saying, because like if you look at that even on a deeper sense, it doesn't mean that you're willing to get slapped again, right? It's that when they slap you and you turn the cheek, right? You're telling them like, are you sure that you were supposed to slap me? Like reflect on what you did, because like if they just slap you again, especially instantly, then they're not understanding why. They're not understanding um Like they just think the slap is a slap, right? But you turning your cheek is you giving them an offer saying, "Are you sure that that should have been the action? Are you sure that that slap was what you wanted to do, right?" And honestly, some people will just slap you back. They'll be like, "Yo, you want to give me the other cheek? I'll slap you back." Some other people reflect and be like, "I hit you. Was that the right thing? I don't think it was." And that's what you're doing. That's what you had essentially done. It's like, look, you slap me, and that's okay with it. But one day they may slap the wrong person, and it may, unfortunately, Rose, it might be the end of their career there, right? And I'm like I said, going back to what we were talking about earlier. It's gracious that you care about her kids more than your situationship with her, 100%, right? But that doesn't mean that like you should, and I'm not saying you did, but I'm not. That doesn't mean that like you're less valuable than the situation. You know what I mean? Like you walked away to help her out, but don't. And I don't think you will, right? Because you already sound like you're beyond it. You're not gonna look back and regret that you quit. I don't think you are. I think you're
Oh
you're you're
no,
pretty much over
definitely
it. Yeah,
no. I
but
am
there's
not, because if I want to work for Gordon, I'm just gonna write the
right to
email
Gordon.
to the corporate and I'll be like, here, I want to work for Gordon. I don't want to work. In the beginning, I thought that I'm getting hired for Gordon, not for a casino. And when I find out that I'm getting hired for casino, I almost cried. I was like, what is this? I don't want to work for casino. I want to work for Gordon Ramsay and his standards, because it's very high standards. And it's just very positive, a very professional standard. There's no negativity in display. There's no bullying. There's no picking on people. There's none of that. None of that.
Yeah,
And that's what I do love. And unfortunately, these people are still working and they are there. And many companies struggling with that by having a really poor management.
mm,
And I just feel a little embarrassed maybe at some point of saying, listen, Gordon, this is what you have.
yeah,
And your staff is leaving this place because of her. And
yeah,
it's not only me left. There's half of the team left when the other places opened downstairs. They transferred because they said she's mean and she's rude.
mm. So
It
yeah, I
wasn't
mean,
just me leaving.
yeah. I think
And
there
her
are times.
favoritism, like, like favoritism for somebody, she gives over schedules and more tables for somebody she doesn't give nothing.
Yeah, yeah,
Like she was giving me one day to work.
yeah,
This week, one day I work. Last week I worked 2 days.
yeah,
For what reason? And
yeah.
she took away my Sunday. When she took away my Sunday last week, we had a bartender that transferred downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Now this bartender figured it out which days are good downstairs and which days that would be great upstairs. So he decided he's gonna catch both. He's
Mm.
working downstairs and upstairs.
Yeah, yeah,
So he took the best days from downstairs, the best days from upstairs, and he's a king working. And he's running this manager, excuse me for telling the laundry, but this is what really happened. That's what really told me to it's time to quit. Because that person already transferred by why he's coming back and taking away the best days. And I was working, Sunday was for me the best day, and I was working on Sunday. You already gave me, to excuse my French, not a greatest day, and you taking away my best day.
mm-hmm.
Okay, why'd you doing that? Oh, because this bartender is running you and you the manager. And he's running you because he's older than you and you feel whatever you feel, but he's running you. He's controlling you. He's
Yeah,
telling you what to do. And I don't think that's professional either. And when she gave me the day she gave me, I said, you know what, you can have it. I'm not dealing with this.
yeah,
Because my next journey, it's about my goals. I have goals. It's not about the job. It's about my goals.
yeah. No, yeah, that's what it comes down to.
And I don't
Because
feel bitter about it because in the end of the day, it wasn't paying me anything anyways. It wasn't
right,
paying me. It was not fulfilling me. I was always exhausted, constantly cleaning. It's 2 hours of cleaning every single day when you're there. It was a lot. My schedule was never scheduled. It was always all over, constantly picked on for stupid things. For stupid things.
Yeah.
I asked for a catch up from the girl. I needed to write up a report, 20-minute report, for asking a catch up. It's just so stupid stuff like that. I said, you know what? I'm not. I just
Yeah, it doesn't
maybe
seem like
she's
it's.
still a child. I don't know. It was so unprofessional because I've been in so many companies and I've seen the high level of professionalism. But when I look at this, I'm like, what is this? It's just
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
And it's not me looking embarrassing, it's her looking embarrassing. And I hope one day she recognizes that great leader will always look good without even telling you it's good.
Yeah.
And whatever she's doing, it's just telling her how she is, and it doesn't really look good. And I hope one day she will realize it and become a great leader. Until then, she needs to work on it. And all I can do is say, please, God, make this person a great leader, heal whatever she's going through, let her be a better person. And I hope she will.
Mm,
For her kids. She has two daughters. For her kids.
mm.
She needs to be a role model for her kids, not this type of person.
Amen.
You have two choices: be an ugly person or be a nice person. You have a choice. It's easy to be ugly,
Yeah.
but it's also easy to be nice. So pick your nice,
Yeah.
pick your easy.
Like I said, the biggest thing is
And I'm
that saying is
fine. But I'm
it
fine.
it goes exactly like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. It's the same aspect there. Like the thing is, the best you can do is just be you, right? That's the most biggest blessing you can be is you. And I've known you long enough to say that I know you're not a lazy worker. I know you're not and you're not ambitious, right? So you're I should just said ambitious. You're an ambitious person, right? I know you have goals and dreams and stuff like that, and I know that you don't let things. You're working on not letting things get under your skin, right? And you're doing a lot better from once once even from when we knew each other and then started the podcast. And the same story, even I was just like, I think there's times where even I was like, why is the world against me and things like that. But it's like, you know what, it's not really just like the world. I think if anything, it was more like a reflection of myself. And the second I started changing my mindset, I'm not as bothered anymore. Like the little bothered I am now, like I don't like. It's not like I renamed this episode because we were gonna talk about hobbies, but now we're just talking about venting, right? Because I think venting is important. Um, and we have every right to. We both been through some trials and tribulations with our positions that we've been in. Um,
Yeah.
but like, I know you getting out of this is you're not walking out with just like I'm upset, and uh, that's it. It's all right. Well, that didn't work out. Let me move on. Like I know that's your
Yeah, what's
mindset now.
next?
Yeah,
And
what's
my
next?
mind is like,
Exactly.
what's next?
For me,
I
it's like
still
this.
gotta do this, and that. What's next?
Yeah, that's like the same story I'm at because I'm sitting there. I'm like, if for whatever reason this job doesn't work out, what's next, right? And it's funny because I think I started telling you that, I want to get into acting. I'm trying to get into my video game streaming. I want to start the podcast for uh the pursuit of peace,
Peace.
right? So like I'm just like I can do all this if I leave the job or if I'm let go from the job. And like the thing is, like I said, I don't want to be let go. Like I have no problem working here and doing that stuff. I know I have to get through these hurdles, but like God forbid that they give me a hurdle too high and then tell me I'm not good enough. Like I'm not gonna look at that hurdle. That's like saying, you know do you ever hear that saying that if you tell a fish it's supposed to fly, do you think it's too? I forgot what the saying is, right? But like I forgot what the saying is. But essentially what it's saying is like, you know, if you let people think that you should be at a certain point and you're not, it shouldn't like make you feel like you're not good enough. So if they're giving me a hurdle too high to jump, right? They shouldn't yell at me and be like, "Oh, you're not qualified to jump this hurdle." Right? And I shouldn't be like, "Damn, you're right. Like I'm not good enough." Like I don't say that anymore. I'm like, no, that hurdle is just too high. Like I stand up now and I say, no, dude, like I I'm not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That hurdle is too high.
Yeah.
I can't jump this, right? And like if they're like, well, I don't think you're good enough to jump it, and well, you know, if you can't do it, then you can't make it here. I'm not at a point that's like, all right, well, you know, I'm gonna do my best to jump it and then get hurt or something like that. I'm like, all right, well, if that's what you see, I know my talents are appreciated somewhere else. So I'll go jump hurdles at another place. I have no problems. Right?
Yeah,
So
because what I usually say, like, this is not my story. That's what I usually say. When somebody says
yeah.
something, I'm like, is this my story? Is this actually who I am? No, I'm not. It's
Yeah.
just your perception of me because of your views and your images that you created about me. So I always like if somebody says something, I really filter everything. I was like, oh, that's how you feel? It's okay, but it's not my story. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna feel any different. I'm at peace. I'm
Hmm.
at peace. Like, you bullying me for stuff like, the steak was uncooked. Okay, but you should have not hired a cook that doesn't know how to make steaks at the
Hmm.
Gordon place.
Hmm.
He was a new cook, and that day, every single table was complaining.
Hmm.
So, in the end of the day, it wasn't my fault that the steak wasn't cooked.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it was my fault that I didn't let you know that steak was uncooked and these people didn't want it and walked out. Yes, I did not let you know on time, but I did recovery service. But because it was not my fault and they didn't even told me, it's not your fault that steak is not cooked. You're not the cook.
Hmm.
I'm
No.
not the cook.
Exactly.
What is the what we're doing here?
That's like
And
getting
people
yelled.
still leave me a tip and be like, "Thank you so much for your service."
That's like getting yelled at for the restaurant across the street being on fire is your fault somehow. Like it doesn't even make
Like
sense.
what?
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
get
then
that.
another like stupid stuff like the other thing was like I didn't fire the food. Yes, it happens. You get so busy you forgot to fire the food. But I fired people's food so many times because I see they running low or somebody sitting a little longer. I'm like, where's the food? So I always check, right? The one time that nobody checked on my food and I didn't fire one item, whoa,
Listen,
we
that's
got a huge meeting, raising the voice on me in front of the kitchen, which is not unprofessional again, screaming, saying, "How did you not fire? You want that $90 for the steak so you can shut up?
yeah.
I'll give it to you." Because
Yeah.
that is so stupid. How much money did I make you? I made
Yeah.
you 20 grand last month. You really care about that steak? All these customers were regular and they're not coming back anymore. They were already back many times for my service. But you don't
Yeah.
pay attention to that part. And that's part, like writing up writing up a thing just because I asked ketchup.
Yeah.
But we didn't write up a thing when another bartender was screaming in front of the customers at me because the customer said I do not eat pork, and she served him a corn soup that had pork in it. And I told in front of the customers, this has pork. And she got ballistic. Why did you tell him? I was supposed to lie?
Yeah. What
If
the
that
hell?
person has allergy or about to die, he specifically told you he's not eating pork.
That's
And you serve him a corn soup that had pork in it. You screamed in front of everybody. We never filed any report. And now this GM telling me I was in the office, I didn't hear it. You were right there. You gonna lie to my face that you weren't there? You were right there telling me what happened.
maybe you should write a letter to corporate, man. Just let them know, be like, hey,
And
this
I'm
stuff.
like, how
Yeah.
in the world? What are you doing?
I
I'm not
so I
saying
mean
I'm wrong or I'm right. I just
the
don't want, like, but
I think
you
like
know what
so
I mean?
you see it though, like you see the pattern, you see how it's like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If I were you, right? Because honestly, you have probably not nothing but time on your hands, but you have more time on your hands now. I would just write a letter to corporate, be like, hey, this is what's happening in your kitchen, and I just want you to know, and that's it. And hey, maybe something will come out of it. Hey, maybe it won't, right? But the thing is, you'll get it off your shoulders. You know, you won't have to sit there and be like, "Am I wrong? Am I wrong?" and stuff like that. I mean, you're in a position to do that. I mean, like I said, I can't say corporate will definitely be like, "Oh, Rose is right." Like, "Oh my God, let's follow up with Rose." They could just look at your letter and be like, "Ah, fuck
No.
this." But like the thing is, like actions like this. I think you should be able to at least reach out to.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm wrong or I'm right. I'm just saying, is this even real? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
really? Like,
Yeah, no,
is this really what's happening?
if you had if you had even told me that you're running to these situations earlier, I would have told you to quit sooner, probably, to be
Oh
honest.
my goodness. The amount of time that I was like, just hold on. The amount of time that I was about to quit, it was a rainbow. I
Yeah,
said, okay, God, I'm staying. Okay, God, I'm staying. There was a rainbow. Every time I was trying to walk out.
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
But now I'm
I
like,
think
I'm glad I did.
yeah, I think you made the right choice because the thing is, you don't want to be at a place that like you have to like fight like that. It makes no sense. You're like I worked. I think I want to say my previous job a few jobs ago, the one that I originally left. Yeah, one of those jobs was like same thing that they're just like they're doing things like oh yeah, the one job that like was kind of pushing me out the door, and I was just like
Never felt
I'm not.
disrespected like
Yeah, I
that.
was like
Yeah.
I made one mistake, and I think my story was never heard. Right? Oh man, there was a funny story quote about that too. They're like if HR listens to one side of the story and not yours, then they never cared about like you know they never cared about your story. They listened to the one story and they're like they accepted the terms on that one story, then they care more about themselves than they care about how you feel about a situation. And I worked at a few jobs that were like that, and when I left those, I had golden opportunities met after that. You know, I think I mean I don't want to tell a story now because we're getting kind of to the tail end of this, but there was a job that I quit because someone told a false story about me, and they told that story to everybody at that job. So when I had to work at that job, no one wanted to work with me, and I was still new. I was still training. So this person, I don't know what the hell they said, but everybody turned their shoulder on me and didn't want to work with me. And the second that I needed help, or the second I started doing this stuff, then
Yes.
management started coming back saying, "Well, why didn't you take notes? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" And I'm like, I didn't learn enough to be able to do all that, and all I'm asking is for a little extra hand, right? That when it came to me quitting, it was exactly how it went for you. They're like, "Oh, you're quitting? Okay, no problem. We'll get your stuff." And I was like, All right." I was like, I think I didn't have any hostility towards anybody. I told him, I was like, can I just come in and pick up my stuff? Because I had some stuff there. I was like, can I just come in and pick it up? And they're like, no, 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 no. You don't have to come in. You don't have to come in. As if I was going to come in disgruntled and throw shit around and things like that. And I was just like, just want to get my, like, I had like a mug. I had a picture of my family. I had stuff like that. I was like, I just want to pick up the stuff. They're like, oh, no, no, we'll ship it to you. We'll ship it to you. And then they had HR reach out to me. And I was just like, they're like, "Oh, do you want to do an exit interview? Because you can do exit interviews." And I was like, "No, I'm okay because when my problem happened at work, you didn't even ask me what happened. You heard something had happened. You had heard the other party's story, and you never asked me what happened. So I don't think I want to do an exit interview." And they were like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, well, best of luck and whatever. And after that, I think within 2 months, I found my job in New York. I think I told you the job that I was like a alcohol distributor company. One of the best jobs I ever freaking had, man. COVID ruined it, but hey, even that, like, I didn't look at it like that COVID ruined it. I just looked at it as, man, opportunities like this exist. You know, this is not like the one job only that does this kind of things. Like I'm at a job now that it kind of reminds me of my job in New York. That's why I'm still here because I'm like I get food, I get more personable with my users. I like personally like going back to the very broad of it. Like I think you made the right move, and now it's just time to move on, right? And I'm happy that even you're like I pray that she ends up in a better place. Absolutely, that's great. And now it's what's next on your plate and what's next on your journey. And you have plenty. You have plenty of things you can do, and you have plenty on your
So
plate
much.
already.
I already have so much. I have already 3 courses going. I have my cleaning business going, my network marketing business picking up. So it's like
You're
things
good.
are happening for the right reasons.
Yep,
Like
yep.
I'm
But listen,
grateful that, and I've done so much in this period, like small 3 months of period with this job. I've done a lot. I knocked down like at least 5 to 7 goals.
yeah.
Like major goals, like paying my
Listen,
taxes,
the like the
like
job
doing stuff, like
the jobs that I've worked at very temporarily, because there's jobs that I worked at for like 2 3 months as well, right? I learned more in that time period about myself or just opportunities in general. than I have at jobs I've been at for like two,
Definitely.
3 years and stuff like that. So I mean, I think maybe it's because of the place we're at in our lives. We don't look at places as like the job, going to the job is the checkpoint. It's the goal is the checkpoint, and like the things that we accomplish in that job or within ourselves is the checkpoint now. It's not so much, hey, I landed a job that's paying me good money and I work here and it's a great job. The the job is just helping you on a journey of for the other things you want to do in your life. So for me, it's like working on my car or working on my podcast or working on my other podcast or whatever it may be. Um, it's all about that now, and I think more so than anything, it's about the peace. Like with this job, outside of these meetings and this little thing I'm having with my management, I don't look at my job as a job. Like I don't look at like if you love what you do, you go in, the day is over before it even begins. I'll be sitting there and I'm like, holy crap, it's already 3 o'clock. Like I didn't even do that much today, but in reality, I did a shit ton. But the time just flew by. I don't like jobs where I'm sitting there looking at the clock, wondering what time I'm going to leave. I don't like that. That's probably the worst thing, and that's why I kind of left my last job. And people were like, "You're crazy for leaving that job because it was such an easy job." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want an easy life right now. I'm not at that point. There's so much more I can do." So I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm just trying to ride the wave, and obviously I'll update us along the way. But listen, I think you made a brilliant decision for yourself to not cause harm to your peace. Above all, make your peace, right? Oh yeah, that's one thing I meant to say. So the one girl was having at my job, she's having problems with her family, and she's like, I have to leave this project, and she almost cried telling me this. And I said, listen to me and listen closely. I was like, in your life, money's gonna come and go. In your life, jobs are gonna come and go, right? But with your family, that time is not gonna come and go. It's gonna come and then just go, and that's it. So I was like, if you need to leave your job because you have to take care of your family, fuck the job. Fuck that. Fuck causing any stress, extra stress on yourself. And she's like, well, what are you gonna do? Let me worry about me. Let me worry about me. You worry about your life. You worry about your family. You go do the things you need to do. And once you're good, I like. She's a hardworking person. I was like, I know you're gonna pick up. You'll be fine. You're gonna find a even maybe even a better opportunity at this point. And she's like, thanks. And I'm like, listen, man. Once I start making money, I'm gonna fly out there and you can treat me to a nice dinner or something. But other than that, like, we're gonna still be good friends, and I know you're gonna pick up. But I was like,
Yeah.
don't leave your peace because of a job. That makes no sense. Don't like listen. I I love my best friend Jazz, and there was points that he chased the money for so long, and his health went to shit. And I think I said this before. Now he took a step back, and he's like, I started to see the errors in my way. And sometimes you see your errors when you take a step like a step back like that, right? Like you learn here more that you have goals and you have strong goals, but this job didn't align with your goal. Fuck it, whatever. Next job, next place.
Exactly. Change your plan. Don't change your goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Change your plan. Change
Change.
the
No,
way you
it's
feel
change.
about it.
Change. Yeah, change the road. Don't change the plan. Yeah, change the
Exactly.
path you
And
take.
change the way you feel about it.
Yeah,
Because in the end of the day, you're living your own life.
yeah,
And when somebody's doing something like that, controlling your life, or not letting you to enjoy your life, enjoy your work that you do, why even be there?
yeah.
Let them have it.
But yeah,
Just
like
have
this,
it.
the stuff that you're
I don't care.
saying,
Just have it.
the stuff that you're saying doesn't even make sense in my head. So I get where you're coming from. But anyway,
I'm like,
oh,
just take it.
I
You
hope
want to take all of my days? Take it. I don't care. In the
I
end of the day, it shows you who you are.
exactly, yeah. At the end of the day, it's not about, it's not your call for their character. It's not your call for making their character better. It's about yourself, and you got to make sure you're
Because
still you
I
at the
know
end of
when
the
I
day.
lay my head in the end of the day to the pillow, I know I was a good person.
Yep, that's it. That's all that matters. Yep, yep, yeah. And like, if in their head, if they feel differently about that, listen, that's not up to you. That it doesn't matter. If they want to think that way, like,
That's
yeah, I
not my
bullied like three
story.
people. Yep, that doesn't matter. Um.
It's okay. It's not my story.
Anyway, I didn't want to get too deep into it, and we're going a little bit over, but I hope you feel a little bit better about letting out.
I'm fine. I'm
It
fine.
wasn't.
It's just like, uh,
That's
I'm
the thing.
fine. It's just so many things happen at once, and I was like you like hit with something like.
Yeah, yeah, of
and you're
course.
like you need time to like
Process it. Yeah, yeah. But like the thing is,
your face is flat, so you need time to get your face back to
yeah,
it. And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
back. I'm back. I have two cleanings today. I have things to do tomorrow.
But
Like
above
I'm
all,
fine.
no, no,
Yeah.
and I know you are right. But the thing is, like, you can sit there, and I'm not gonna say this is a bad thing. You can say I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But then when you add the word "but," you're not. That is the thing. And I know you're feeling better, right? Because even from the beginning of this call, when you started venting about it, I can see the stress on your face. I can see you're just like I can't, like what the fuck was this? Like I saw that kind of face. But now you're chilling. Now you're smiling. Because the thing is, and I think that's why I renamed the episode today. It is important for us to vent. You know, I think that's why the other day I was on the phone with my best friend because some shit happened to her, and like she was like, "I just had a bad day," and I was like, "Why didn't you just call me and tell me about it?" And like she's like, I didn't think about it. I'm like, good. Well, I'm gonna start hounding you now if you don't call me. And that's exactly what I do. If I text her and I don't hear back from her from like 3, 4 hours, I'm like, yo, what the hell's going on? Like, what are you doing? You know, whatever. And she's like, oh, sorry, I forgot this, forgot that. But I told her, I was like, look, sometimes it's not that like you're bitching about a situation or anything like that. You just have to let it out. You just because like you might sit there, you might say it to yourself on camera, you might say it to yourself in the mirror. But when you're talking to like a friend, especially me, you know, or like, you know, if you're talking to someone else, you're letting it out. It feels even better because you're just like because you speak in a way that's like I'm not crazy, right? I'm not crazy because like that's how that when I vent, that's the reason of my venting is like I'm not just complaining, right? Like it's not just in my head, right? And I need that reassurance. So like what you're going through, like after you said it, like I'm reassuring, like, yo, you're not crazy. Like you're not doing anything wrong. You did your best. And for whatever reason, this lady was the way she was. That's fine. If she wants to be that way, that's fine. We know who you are, and I know you're not going to change because of what the hell happened there. Right. And even more so, you're doing one step better. You're praying that she'll be one step better. That's even better. I don't even fucking do that. I let people do their thing and I'm like, listen, life will come your way and whatever happens happens, right?
Exactly. Like I told a couple of people yesterday, I said, I'm not going to do anything for this lady just because she has two kids.
Yep.
Like I don't care about her, but I care about her kids because I don't want the kids to have to go through all the turbulence in life, mommy's life,
But the
and
thing,
that's all.
like I said, the thing is that's very gracious, and not that you have a certain level of empathy that is like like beyond the standard. I want to say, right? So like you're caring about this lady because you don't want her to hit a tough situation, but in all reality, she put herself in that tough position if it happens, right? And that's a lesson that she may need to learn. And the thing is, where she's at right now, she's not gonna learn it, right? But maybe something will happen that she will. But you know, not that I'm pessimistic or whatever. I'm just kind of real about it. Some people don't learn that lesson in life, and so be it. But to me, it's not about my life and my journey of hoping you learn this. It's kind of like how you know, like my brother-in-law, right? He knows I'm not really religious, but he prays for me all the time. Does he pray for me in the sense that he's going out of his way to pray for me? No, but he still wishes well upon me, and that's exactly what you're doing. You're not praying for her every day, like please change, please change. You're just saying, well, I hope that one day you see the errors in your way. But other than that, it doesn't bother me. I'm already gone. I'm already on my journey out, right? So you're just hoping that one day she hits her journey and she understands that. So you're good. You know, you're good in that sense. And like I said, I'm proud of that. You're handling it a little bit better. But it doesn't hurt to vent. It doesn't hurt to be upset by it. It doesn't hurt to kind of feel anger, right? We're all human at the end of the day. But like I said, from the beginning of this podcast to where we're at now, I see a shift in your attitude. I see a shift in the way you feel about it. And like even work wise, I know you'll find something else. Bro, you're fucking amazing. I know you're gonna find something else. I'm not even concerned,
Thank
right?
you.
If anything, now you can put more time and effort into the stuff you love. You can put more time and effort into your business, your cleaning business, or your your health coaching and stuff like that. You have plenty on your plate. That like, you know, like I'm proud that when this hit you, you weren't like I'm gonna stop doing everything else. Part of that is like what you did today. You're like I wasn't feeling like I wanted to show up today, but yet here you are, and I know you feel 1,000% better showing up today. You know, you feel 1,000% better being part of the podcast and talking today versus if you didn't join at all, right? So I think that's the most important part about this entire experience It doesn't matter what kind of person she is, right? And I'm happy that you're like, hey, I hope you get better. But now it's all about what's next. And I know you're already there. So now I can say I think you're feeling, I don't like using the word fine. I'm gonna say I think you're feeling better now. Because I think when I don't know about you, but if I tell myself I'm fine, I'm normally not fine. I kind of say it in a sense to lie to myself, thinking I'm fine, right? So when I go through situations like this, I just say I'm better. I'm better now. If I talk to a friend, I'm better now. You know. So not to change your perspective on being fine and not fine and stuff like that, but that's the way I like to look at it. Because if I sit here, and the thing is, if you think about it, when you say I'm fine and you keep saying I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, you're not fine. If you have to repeat it to yourself, you're not fine. When I say I'm better, I don't repeat that. I say it once and I move on. But if I find myself saying I'm fine, I'm fine, I mean, I'm talking about me, right? When I say that, I know I'm not at my peace. So,
So what is coming to me right now, like I would say it this way, right? You look at your picture of your dream or goal or success, whatever you're going for, it's like this big, like I don't know, put it like an example, like castle. Like your dream is a castle, right?
yep,
To get to your castle, there's the steps. You can't just open the door. You have to actually, step, 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 and then boom, you have the key. You open the door, you're there. So this for me was just the first step towards to getting that key to open my castle.
yep, yep,
So I just need to, you know, like, okay, I need another step towards my key.
yep.
It
That's
could
all
be
it is.
5 steps, it could be 10 steps, but we need these steps. And I'm
Yep,
grateful for these steps because it showed me exactly who I am, that I'm capable to do it, and I'm capable of speaking. It was more like a public speaking
yeah,
because we were doing the whole show. The
mm,
amount of public speaking I did, like example like 7 people, and you have to in front of them speak loudly for what's on the menu. That was like an experience to itself that I'm grateful for because this public speaking, some people were taking medication just to
mm,
be able to do that. I was
yeah,
like, if you have to take pills to do that, like I don't think you need this job. But anyways, I wasn't judging. But for me, it was a great step to my next step. So maybe it's God telling me you kind of like took a little too long on this step. You need to go to the next step.
the way I
You
look at
need
it
to,
is the way I look at it, and your point is you actually reached the climate of those steps, and like when you looked up and you saw like you saw this path in front of you from this place here, you're like, nah, like there's other paths that you can go to get to your goal, right? And you're like, yeah, this mountain doesn't look like it's worth climbing. Let me go to that mountain over there. That one is my path. That one feels a little bit better for me. Like that's all it was. Or you can even look at it as you're climbing up the steps, the one step you
yeah,
stepped on right now crumbled. It crumbled a little bit, and you're like, let me be a little bit more careful. And you took your next step carefully, and
yeah.
you're moving
And it's
forward.
not even crumble. They did give me a good foundation for my next level.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like I said,
Now
I
for
think
me, it's easier to talk to anybody because I wasn't like that before.
yeah,
You
no,
know?
absolutely. Yep, I agree. Yeah, I mean everything like that helps us in the end, and I think that could lead more to our next podcast so that we talk about
Yes.
things
I
that we've
take
been through.
good. Yeah, exactly. I take good out of every situation.
Yeah,
Okay, what's good? What's good happened?
yeah.
Can we
We'll
bring what's
we'll
good
we'll, we'll
happened
do
to the
that
next
next
step?
week. Then we'll do that next week. We'll talk about the steps that we take. That, like because one of the I think the most crucial things that I picked up and definitely talking about next week, right? Is the I took one step back to take two steps forward. And that is also a very interesting learning method, um, and it's helped me a lot. But anyway, so like I said, my final words are just gonna be listen, sorry that it didn't work out, obviously, right? Obviously
Thank you
it
for the
was a good
support.
place and it was a good experience, but you're going nowhere but up from here anyway, so you're good. And one day, we'll meet Mr. Ramsey one way or another. We'll have dinner with him, and maybe we could tell him like, hey man, check out this restaurant, double check this, or something like that. But you know the goal is still there
Yeah,
to eventually meet him, so I'm
it's
happy
gonna
about
be.
that.
It's gonna be on the level like when we're on the same level, and people be like, oh.
It's like
Really? You for me?
he's gonna be like,
You?
I wanna.
You?
He's gonna be like, oh, I have to meet up with Rose today for dinner. I'm looking forward to it. You know, like something that's the level that
And
we're
then
gonna
I'm
be in.
telling him that I actually work for him. That would be a shocker.
No, no, it's gonna be even better. You're gonna reach out to Gordon Ramsay and you're be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, Gordon. I'm not free this month. You're gonna have to check with my assistant and follow up next month." And he's gonna be like, "Oh man, I gotta wait. Okay, no problem." That's the level of Rose that I want to see. But anyway, uh, thanks for being part of the
That'd be
podcast
great.
today, Rose. I really do appreciate you showing up, despite even not wanting to. Thank you for our guests that came by to watch. Morgan, I'm glad. I know it's nighttime for you over there, but I appreciate your efforts coming by and being a part of it, and also the others coming in and just checking in. We're still a work in progress with our podcast. We're getting closer and closer to our year episode, which I'm very proud of. Um, I think September is going to be a fun month. It's going to be my birthday this month as well. Next Saturday, I could do the podcast. I have a concert next Saturday, but I still have time to do the podcast, so I should be okay. But next Saturday, that's exactly what we'll talk about. That like the experiences that we had, whether good or bad, how did it what did it do to bring us to where we are
Yes.
today? So that will be the title for the next podcast, or the subject line. But anyway, if you came by, we appreciate you coming by. We love you. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Hopefully, we're actually hoping when it comes to the year time, we're gonna have some merch to give away. So I'll announce that more on the Facebook groups, Instagram, stuff like that. And if you want to participate or if you want something, just let us know so we can help share. Want to get some of our name more out there. But until then, we like I said, Rose, I appreciate everything, and I'm happy that we're doing this. This has been a fantastic journey, and cheers to all of us. The one thing I want to switch
Cheers.
over to. Okay, cheers. The one thing I did want to say is I got a new tea. I got a tea it's called chicory and gardenia tea.
Ooh.
Um, I just changed to it, so it has
I need
to
a sample of that. Gardini is really nice.
that's what it said. So they have Takaho, gardenia, chicory, cassia seed, mulberry leaf,
My skincare has. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
So it
really
has like a
good.
bunch of different things. It's supposed to promote health in your kidneys and your liver, which I need. And I have been seeing some improvement, but I've been trying to drink it every day. And by itself, it tastes amazing. So I started looking into it because I'm trying to wean off coffee a little and go more on the tea route. And even if I have tea, I'm trying to wean off the caffeine route. So this one, I think it's lower on the caffeine range, which is nice. But the tea is delicious. So that's what I've been kind of
Yeah,
switching over to.
send me a picture or send me a tea. One of
I'll
those.
send you I'm gonna send you the Amazon link that I have for it, and then you can just look it up. I got it off Amazon, but you can get it. I'm sure you can find it anyway. But anyway, guys, thank you again for being part of the podcast. Rose, you are the best. I love you, and we'll see you guys next week on Motivation Station. Please have a motivated day. Take care,
Have a motivated day. Thank you guys for watching, liking, sharing, and
and
listening to us.
just being awesome. Just being awesome. Everyone's awesome, right?
Oh, just be nice. Don't be awkward.